employment-related matters, Manrega, which is normally quoted saying, oh, you have not been sincere about Manrega. I'll certainly take this opportunity to read out some numbers, sir, if you please allow me that kind of a time. We are often said, oh, you opposed Manrega, we were the ones who brought it in, we have great claims to Manrega. Yes, you may have given birth to. No questions, ma'am. You have given birth to Manrega, you can take the credit for it. But equally, take the credit for having mismanaged Manrega. Take the credit for CAG paragraphs on Manrega. Take the credit for having given Manrega to ghost workers. Take the credit for Manrega going to non-existing workers. Take the credit for that also. So, Congress party, sir, I'm sorry to take the name of a party on a debate during budget, gives birth to all these very good schemes, no doubt, very good schemes, but lacks the will to use them properly, lacks the will to use them openly and transparently. Moment that is given birth, misuses them to favor cronies. हम दो हमारे दो इसके लिए काम आता है. Sir, Manrega, I'm reading the figures. Suresh ji, I'm reading the figures. Honorable Member Kodikunil Suresh, please hear the numbers. Please hear the numbers. Sir, in 2009-10, sir, in 2009-10, no, don't worry. Then don't ask us the questions on Manrega. Ask the state government. You ask us the questions. When I'm giving you reply, don't. Of course, I'll mention Congress because you take the credit for it. Anyway, sir, I don't want to lose my time to give a proper answer. Sir, there are two tendencies, sir. Again, I'll take the name of the Congress party. There are two tendencies. One, they give birth to such schemes and then use it for their cronies. And each time, you can see the hypocrisy in the way the figures come out. Manrega, sir, the tendency I'll use to explain through Manrega. What is the tendency? We'll have a scheme. We'll announce huge BEs for it. Budgetary time estimated allocation, big amounts. But actually, not utilized. Each year it will end up with the actuals being far lesser than the original allotted amount, which means either they don't care for it or they give their cronies and forget the actual workers. यही होता है, वो BE से RE का डेटा में दे देती हूं जिससे आपको पता लगेगा कि मनरेगा के ऊपर आपके प्यार एक्चुअली क्या नतीजा निकालती है on the ground. That pyar doesn't translate it into activity. 2009-10, sir, 39,100. Actually, what was utilized? 33,000 only. 6,000 Bhagwan Jane, kyun they put it? Then, 40,100 comes to being 35,000 only. 11-12, 40,000. Only 29,000 is used. The rest are unutilized. Sir, 33,000. Only 30,000 is utilized. 2013-14, 33,000. Only 32 is utilized. 14-15, the last year, after us coming, 34,000 was only 32,000 used. But later on, from 15-16, please see the utilization levels. 34,699, 37 was utilized. 16-17, 38,500, 48,214 was utilized. 17-18, 48,000, 55,000 was utilized. 18-19, 55,000 allocated BE, 61,815 was utilized. 19. 2019-20, 60,000 was allocated, 71,686 was, which means For a demand-based program, we also keep giving. 2008-9, sir. 2008-9, sir, was a distress year because of global financial crisis. Even then, your utilization was less, which means you'll talk about crisis when it comes to others, but no, not for yourselves. 2021, sir, the year of the pandemic. 61,500 because budget was presented in February, much before the corona crisis. But although we gave only 61,500 in the budget, as the year went, corona crisis, pandemic, lockdown, and then after the lockdown, migrant workers going back to their villages, we have increased that to 1,11,500 because that support had to be given in the villages. End of the year, it may well be that it will be utilized only to the extent of 90,000 crores, but still far higher than ever utilized under the Manrega. And therefore, this year, the current year's budget provision, the forthcoming year, we have given 73,000 crores and are fully willing that through the supplementary demand for grants, which happens at least 2 times, if not 3 times, we are going to give more and more if necessary so that migrant workers who have not returned to their jobs in the cities or anywhere else, who choose to remain there, can still be continued giving support. Sir,
No.
Sir, there's a lot of question on you have not given adequate support to the MSMEs, which is a bit of a surprise for me. I think even during the lockdown, the announcements which were made clearly saying we are addressing the distress which the MSMEs will face in 2 different ways. One, by suspending some of the clauses of the IBC, we made sure no one from the MSME will be pulled to the courts or for resolution or for failure to pay their due debts and so on, and therefore that was one way. That ensured nobody was going to be drawn to the courts or nobody is going to be declared insolvent. Similarly, we also kept extending dates of due payments or any kind of compliance that they have to do. So we extended the deadline till 31st March of this year on many scores so that they are not burdened with having to pay taxes, having to file their returns, or having even to plain compliance papers to be filed. So we've given them relief on the compliance side of things. Equally, we have given relief from the point of view of giving some money so that they can have working capital, additional working capital, extended term loans, and so on, without asking for any new additional security. And this, if I only say for a minute, the approach that we took will tell you how clearly the intent was to help everybody. Banks were instructed to send SMSs, to call on the phone, to send emails, to go to the house or the office of the MSME if they are available post the lockdown was lifted, but before that through a SMS saying we are willing to give you, please come and take without additional security. And the instruction given to the banks was, you will not deny unless the person himself or the company himself says, I don't want it. So it was given to everybody. The choice to say no was with the borrower and not with the bank. So not one company or not one MSME, even if it's a one single person MSME nano unit, was ignored. And also let me underline the fact that when we kept saying MSME, we did not exclude others who did not strictly come under the category of MSME. Anyone who had an account in the bank could go and say, give me loan under this emergency credit guarantee liquidity support scheme.